Welcome back to She's the Business podcast. I'm glad to have you here today. We're talking about the question, are high ticket offers dead? Like, should you be focusing on something high ticket for 2026? Or should you double down on those low ticket offers? What's the best strategy? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and let's talk about high ticket offers. Is this really a smart strategy for 2026? As you probably are aware, 2025 has been a bit of a doozy, hasn't it, for many people in many different locations, geographies, countries. There's been a lot of struggle, and I think we're continuing to see quite unstable economic conditions in those major places around the world. So what should you do? And there's also been a lot of chat around the growing trust deficit that we see in the online space, meaning that as AI obviously has exploded, as we're seeing more and more that's happened over the last 5 years, there's a few factors that have contributed to it, not just AI. But obviously during the COVID era, we saw a lot of people jump into online business and just decide overnight, hey, I'm going to have a business and I'm going to teach people how to do something. So you had a lot of people who maybe weren't a master of their craft or of their trade, of their service offering, suddenly jumping in as experts, so-called experts or teachers. And yeah, there were some stories that weren't so great that came out of that time. Those people seemed to head back to their jobs once it all wasn't working out for them. But then we had the rise of the affiliate marketing brigade, where it was basically a bit like an MLM or this recurring monthly revenue thing that they had going on, where they were basically reselling other people's products. So you had a whole bunch of people starting a business to simply resell someone else's product. They're not the expert, but here they are saying, I've created a business making a whole lot of money. And some of them probably were talking about themselves being coaches or being experts in a certain area, when really all they were doing was selling something that someone else had created. So it wasn't their stuff. And we're now seeing the decline of that. That is crashing and burning down because people are realizing, oh, it's actually really hard to do that. It's not an easy way to create a business because you kind of don't really own anything. It's nothing that is yours. So the outcome of that is that we've got our scam radars on high alert. We're on the lookout for people who are pretenders, who are charlatans, who are kind of trying to just make a quick buck because, let's face it, that's what they were all trying to do, was just make a quick buck. And then there's also AI. So, fake accounts, people with no faces, are they real? Are they not real? We're not sure what is real anymore, are we? So that's created a lot of skepticism, a lot of suspicion. And obviously that means that where people were a lot more trusting before, they're not so trusting now. So yes, we need to roll with this, adapt and change. And no doubt, if you're here listening to this podcast, I'm sure that you are a trustworthy person who has experience, real expertise, and a real desire to help people. And that's wonderful. We just need to let that be clear, let it shine out, because people can tell the difference. So let's talk about the high ticket versus low ticket, because I think that this is probably a question on most people's minds as we head into the new year. Maybe you've had some stuff that wasn't working so well this year, and people have been asking me, wow, should I just swap to something low ticket and get some sales that way? And it seems like an easy solution. It seems logical. If people aren't buying your one-to-one, should you just create a lower ticket program, a course, a membership, something that they will buy? And let's examine that, just the high versus low, before we get into any numbers or anything like that, just for a moment. It's not just a sort of straight swap. These are two vastly different business models. If you are in a higher ticket business model, you're probably selling one-to-one services or very high touch live interaction sort of group programs where the value is very high. It's a totally different business model to the low ticket, low touch. One of them is high volume and low cost. The other one is higher cost and low volume. Now, everything is different when it comes to that. The systems you use, your sales machine, you're not going to do one-to-one calls when you're selling something that is a low cost product, right? You want a high volume. So it's a giant decision to change. And I would like you to really take this and I'd like you to think about this really carefully. Don't just go and swap and change everything in your entire business model thinking that that's going to be the solution to the problem, because what I believe is that that wasn't the issue. It's not the price that is the problem. And straight away, I know you're thinking, but it is because of the economy. Yeah, but look around you. Even in this economy, even in the world with all of this uncertainty and definitely some huge fluctuations of things that are going on, there are still an abundance of people with money to invest, who are serious, who are working, who are earning normally. So it's not like everyone is struggling. That's not the truth, even though what we might see on the media might suggest it. That's really not the case at all. Never has been. Even in the times of the greatest, the Great Depression and all of those things where there literally was a worldwide lowering of income, of, spendable money that people had, there were still people making money. There were people who were leveraging that situation and they had funds to invest, and that's exactly what they were doing. So even in those times, that there are people out there with money, and it's about tuning into that, right? First of all, telling your brain who's worried about this that, hey, it's okay. We're going to be okay. Secondly, if you've been doing something successfully that is high ticket, then you've got that behind you. You successfully can sell and deliver high ticket. If it hasn't been working lately, it's not the fact that it is the price, but it's that the market has changed a little bit. As we talked about a moment ago, this trust deficit, the perception, what they are looking for, what they want to have in order for them to be a yes has changed. So what is it that we're really missing? Why aren't people saying yes when they used to say yes far more easily? What I'm seeing is that there is a lack of, one of the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing are people that have a higher priced offering, but it is not aligned with how they're presenting themselves, i.e. their positioning. So the brand, the way that you're showing up in the market, who you are being, as well as what you're saying that you are, they all need to match up and marry up and be a consistent message. That is a huge part of it. Anytime that there feels like there's a disconnect there, a disconnect in what you're saying versus how you're really presenting, then people instantly fear that there's the lack of trust is there, so they back out straight away. The other part is, are your offers actually aligned with that positioning? So maybe you have a high ticket offer, but not high ticket positioning. Maybe you do have the positioning for it, but the offer actually says something else. And it depends on where you fit in that scale as to what's going on. But we do need to have the alignment happening. And that is what is missing most of the time when your sales have started to decline. There's a disconnect in your positioning. We're not positioning as that premium offering, and the offer isn't speaking it either. It's no longer like enough to have people say, wow, just come and buy some sessions with me. That's not a premium offering, even if you've put a price on it. And I think that is one of the big misconceptions that is out there at the moment. You have coaches who are saying, wow, that's really easy. Just like niche down or change your prices, change your prices to be more premium, to be more exclusive, more high ticket. But if you are just changing your prices and not actually changing how the offer is constructed, how it's pitched and positioned, then you're getting a disconnect. because it's not the price alone that makes something premium. It is all of the factors that come into it. There's really, I like to say, 5 core parts of your offer, but altogether there are 8 different things that I put together when we design an offer that will make your offer aligned and that will make your offer something that is easy for your ideal client to say yes to, no matter what the price is. Because price is relative. It's also subjective. Like someone's expensive is someone else's cheap. So what we need to do is understand all of these factors, and we build that in to your offer. So for 2026, heading in there into the new year, yes, absolutely, people are looking for quality offerings. They're looking for premium because guess what? They have been burnt by buying something that is too low quality. They've bought in and then they've just gone, oh, this just has not worked for me. It hasn't been enough. It's not the level I was really looking for. That is frustrating. All of those people are looking for higher ticket, much more premium offerings. Yes, you need to have tangible outcomes. It's not just buying sessions of time with you. Tangible outcomes, it's aligned to your ideal client that obviously is a premium buyer. So let's get clear on, what that really means when it's niching. Niching down doesn't mean niching down. It's actually more like, let's get more specific. Let's actually decide, and this takes bravery and takes some decisions that might feel hard, but they are absolutely worthwhile when you make those decisions exactly who it is that this is for and tailor it for them with the tangible outcomes. That is the solution that you need, right? In order for it to work. Then what I like to say to my clients in Business Jam, when we've gone through those 2 pieces, you've got your premium positioning, you've got your offer that aligns with it. That is your core foundation. It's sort of like the cake that you've baked. Now we get to decorate it. So how are you putting this out there? How are you going to wrap this up and make it look so irresistible that they can't say no, that they're like, yes, I have to have it? Well, that's like the icing. That's the decoration that goes on the top of the cake. And then the method that you sell it is obviously your simple system for selling. So put these things in place. That is the exact steps that I've just shared with you that we go into in detail, step by step through inside Business Jam. It is not hard. This is not rocket science. I've talked about this so many different times. You can probably go back through and pull out all of these pieces of the different parts of that framework. But the important thing is that it's not about picking up a funnel or someone else's method and putting it into your business. No, you've already got the bones of it. You've already got started. You've got it there. We're talking about refinement and alignment. When you refine your positioning, your offers, make sure they are absolutely aligned, and then just have the right sales system that can support it. Gosh, your business can be so easy. Let's make it more light. Let's make it feel spacious, flexible, that you've got time to spend on the important things in life in 2026. Go to your kids' sports days at school, turn up to the assemblies, to the celebrations, spend time with your friends, get outdoors, do something for yourself. That all becomes possible when you've built the business that actually is streamlined, focused on making those sales in the least amount of time and obviously earning the most amount possible. So I'm not saying that this is about, do no work but earn more. Absolutely not. I'm all about working hard. I am absolutely hard worker myself, but it's about the amount of time that you spend doing it. Like, let's work more efficiently and effectively in 2026. Get the work done in far less time, but still be earning as much, if not more. My aim for you is that you're earning far more and still working less hours, because we've dialed in that strategy, got it working for you so that it's effective. And let's face it, how much more fun is that going to be? You know as well as I do, when you're working with clients who are aligned, who are an ideal client, a great fit, they're committed, they're ready to show up, they're ready to do the work as well, that you get far better results. And of course, that gives you much more satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, and success in your business. So yes, all those things are possible. And it's just a matter of taking a little bit of time. Right now, we're at the end of 2025, heading into 2026. Let's get your strategy refined, review it, see which pieces are out of whack at the moment, disconnected, not working, and let's hone in on that and click them back into place, but into a place that's going to work for you in 2026. What used to work 2023, 2024, it has changed. The world has changed. We need to roll with it. We need to evolve forwards rather than trying to go back to what was, because, that's in the past now. We are now looking forward to the future. And if you'd like some help with that, and if you want to know more about the exact steps, I have a training that I've created. It's actually inside my client portal. So when you sign up for the Magnetic Formula, it's all about attracting those right clients that are right for your offer. When you sign up for it, it's not just like a class that you get, like a webinar that you have to sit through and watch at the speed that they've got. You're actually getting this program inside my client portal, which means you get to log in, you can go back in, you can replay it, you can slow it down, you can pause, make your notes, come back to it when you need to. It is there for you, and you'll have access to it as long as you would like. But I've provided that right now as a free training. That is like my gift to you. I may charge for it going into, sometime next year. I might decide, this is worth far too much for me to provide for free. Right now, it is free. So if you'd like your own copy, you want to log in to my site to get this free training and maybe any others that I decide to produce, and I will put in there for you, then head to jessicaosborne.com/TMF, which stands for The Magnetic Formula, so TMF, and register for it right now. You're going to get an email giving you the instructions on how to log in and access this training, and I highly recommend that you do that over this holiday period. I mean, why not even now? Let's get started now before your brain switches off for the holidays. Get clear on what you want to do. Have a nice break where you're not mulling over it every 5 minutes, and then you can kickstart that new year with fresh motivation, clarity, and just the ability to make the right decisions on what your focus needs to be. That's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll be back again next week with another episode.